Richard Hale, a reclusive millionaire whose empire stretched across continents, had built everything in his life on logic, precision, and control, yet nothing had prepared him for the terror of watching his 3-year-old twin daughters, Lily and Liana, fall mysteriously ill, deteriorating day by day as doctors, specialists, and world-renowned experts failed to find a cause despite his endless money, sleepless nights, and the silent prayer he whispered every time he held their small, frail hands. His mansion gradually transformed from a palace of wealth into a graveyard of medical reports, machines, monitors, and the constant sound of beeping alarms. Helicopters frequently landed on the estate carrying new specialists, new scanners, new hopes that died the moment the doctors admitted they were clueless. Richard's world had shrunk from global boardrooms to 2 tiny hospital beds placed side by side in his master suite, where he slept on the floor each night because he refused to leave them. The media speculated wildly, charities begged for donations, and conspiracy theorists whispered online, but Richard blocked the world out, focusing solely on his daughters, his only remaining connection to his late wife, Amelia, whose death during childbirth still haunted him like a shadow that clung to every corner of the mansion. With every passing week, the girls grew weaker, their once bright blue eyes dulled, their giggles disappeared, and their tiny bodies trembled with a fever no medicine could break. Desperation, asking for protection over the children, for guidance in her own life, and for strength to endure the challenges she had faced silently for so many years, her sincerity palpable, reaching even the men at the door who now felt compelled to listen, drawn by the unexpected warmth and vulnerability emanating from someone he had barely considered beyond her role in the household, and as he watched, the youngest boy's small voice broke the silence with a hesitant prayer, his words, innocent yet profound, touching upon fears and hopes the man himself had long buried beneath wealth and ambition, making him realize that the world he had built around himself, filled with contracts, meetings, and appearances, had never truly prepared him for these small but profound truths of life, love, and faith. The maid, noticing the men at the doorway, opened her eyes slightly, her gaze meeting his, not with fear or reproach, but with calm understanding, as if she had always known he would see her at her most genuine self one day. And the man, caught between the life he knew and the life unfolding before him, felt an unfamiliar urge to kneel, to pray, to strip away the armor of his carefully maintained persona and confront the raw humanity he had ignored for so long, while the children, sensing the change in atmosphere, looked at him with quiet curiosity, their small faces reflecting hope, trust, and an unspoken invitation to join them, and he realized in that instant that the world outside, with its noise, expectations, and relentless pursuit of power, had never given him a moment like this, a moment where the simplest act of devotion could open the heart, soften the spirit, and ignite a profound connection. Between people of different ages, backgrounds, and stations in life, the maid's voice grew stronger, more fervent, calling upon unseen forces to watch over these children, to keep them safe, to bless them with courage, wisdom, and love, her words imbued with a kind of magic born from years of struggle, sacrifice, and unwavering belief, while the boys repeated after her in their own innocent, stumbling way, their collective voices weaving a tapestry of hope, faith, and pure intention that filled the room with a palpable energy, and the men, now completely captivated, realized that he had never truly understood devotion, that all the money, status, and success he had accumulated were meaningless compared to this shared moment of sincere prayer, humility, and connection. The light shifted slightly as the sun climbed higher, casting long, golden streaks across the room, illuminating the small beads of sweat on the maid's brow, the earnest expressions on the children's faces, and the astonished awe on the man's features, creating a cinematic tableau of life, faith, and the quiet power of sincerity that no wealth could replicate. And as the final echoes of their prayers faded into the calm of the room, an unspoken understanding passed between them, a recognition that life was fragile, precious, and infinitely more meaningful when shared with honesty, humility, and open hearts. The man took a hesitant step forward, feeling a surge of emotion that he could not name, his voice barely a whisper as he muttered words of apology, gratitude, and admiration, and the maid, with a gentle nod, acknowledged him without judgment, offering instead a smile that seemed to carry the weight of years yet radiated pure light, while the children, sensing the man's softened demeanor, shyly returned their smiles, their small gestures bridging a gap that no conversation could have achieved, and in that moment, the room was transformed from a simple, elegant sanctuary of unspoken truths, raw emotion, and the enduring power of faith, care, and human connection, leaving the men with a deep, unshakable understanding that some of the most profound lessons in life come not from wealth or success, but from humility, innocence, and the courage to believe. And as the scene faded into a quiet, reflective stillness, the maid whispered one final prayer, a prayer that the men would carry this moment in his heart forever, and the camera of life lingered on their faces, capturing the magic of this encounter, while a gentle voice invited the viewers to subscribe, reminding them that more stories like this, filled with heart, emotion, and unforgettable lessons, awaited just a click away, promising inspiration, warmth, and moments that could touch even the hardest of hearts.